I continue my development of the philosophy of sex by briefly commenting on books about women and men, books written by women about women, books written by men about women. You need to have all points of view to understand the topic. And I would like to remind myself and others that God is the active principle which makes itself passive. So um, God is the agent and the patient of its own process. So it's the will which brings about the activity and passivity of all things. So God is a man who makes himself man and woman at the same time. And when you understand that, you penetrate into the mind of God. So I will talk about a book by Ellen Andlin, and it's fascinating womanhood. Um, and God created woman because he wanted to have a mirror image of himself and to contemplate his own mystery and his own fascinating aspects. And like I said in a previous video, what Nietzsche says about the real man, that he wants danger and play, and that's why the real man wants woman, because it's a dangerous plaything. God created woman to play with the feminine aspect of God, and that's dangerous, but that's also exciting and funny in a way. So Ellen Andlin tells us that without love, woman is an empty shell. And in my view, which is Hegelian, man belongs to the realm of logic, and women belongs to the realm of nature, and spirit is the unity of nature and logic, the logical illumination of nature. And to love, I have a Spinozian view of love, which is a full understanding. To love something means to recognize yourself in the other, to be yourself outside of yourself through a cognitive process. This is true philosophical love. And um, women want to be loved because they want to be understood and liberated from the realm of the physical nature in which they belong. And this is only the supernatural intellect which can enlighten women. And that's why women are very troubled and very surprised when a man can read their thoughts, and they feel that they've been um, uh, naked, made naked, that they have been unclothed. I'm not sure that's an English word, but that's not important. Women are very troubled when a man can read her thoughts and their thoughts. So Ellen Andlin tells us that a happy and feminine woman wants to be adored and cherished, and the greatest joy in a woman is to be absolutely passive and to let the man do all the work. And the real woman finds her happiness in her own passivity. And in the realm of nature, nature is passive because it is blind necessity. It's, as Schelling puts it, the petrified intelligence and the logical principle made manifest in man who can reflect upon nature. Is the purpose of man is to fluidify and to vivify and to spiritualize the petrified intelligence of nature. And in the realm of love, it's to illuminate the petrified intelligence of women and to make them creative and joyful. She reminds the readers that a happy marriage is the fundamental cornerstone of a happy family, which is the fundamental ground of a happy society. So if you break down the relationship between man and woman, you break down the family, you break down the society, and you break down the civilization, which is what has happened in Western civilization. It's the men have become weak, and therefore women have become strong, which has disturb the balance, the cosmic, magnetic, polar unity and polarity of man and woman, and which has brought about the downfall of the traditional family and the whole of society, and that's why Western civilization is collapsing. But at the same time, it's creating its own saving principle, because the decadence of Western civilization forces men to step up and to shape up and to bring back balance and order. And this is a dialectical process. I would like to quote a sentence from a French author, Victor Hugo, which in English he says, "There is in this world no function more important than that of being charming, to shed joy around, to cast light upon dark days. Is not this to render a service?" And in my best moments, I know myself to be a light, and I take my joy and my intellectual pleasure in enlightening myself and enlightening others. So she said that women want to be loved. So woman is the passive element in a love relationship, and man wants to love woman, which means to understand woman, which means to understand nature in the philosophical realm, and man has its highest purpose in intellectual activity. Man wants to play with woman and to surpass himself, and that's why women are so troubling, because the more a woman offers resistance, the more of a challenge it is for a man, and man has to surpass himself and to become the best version of himself in order to satisfy the woman that he wants. Yeah. She says, that's not very popular, but that woman fulfills her role by being at home and taking care of the household, and there's a distinction that a woman needs man to be liberated and to be enlightened and to be made to be loved and to fulfill her purpose, which is to serve man. That's her view, and which is also my view. So woman needs man, but man wants woman. So strictly speaking, man does not need woman. He wants it. That's different. It is the will of man which makes himself attached to woman, but man can detach himself from woman, whereas woman is in an essential and dependent relationship with man. And just to take an example, the decadence of modern Western men has brought about the marriage of women with the state, which is the absolute man in the realm of politics. And most feminists are leftists, and they just want to marry the strongest male, which is the state, because it has all the resources and the power. And yeah. When woman is in danger, it awakens within man the will to save, and that's a dialectical process where danger also grows the will to save. That's the poet Hölderlin, the German poet, which says that. So man fulfills his role by saving woman, and that's why man needs danger, because he needs to be in a position where he needs to surpass himself and to save women, and men are at their best, and they fulfill their purpose when they can save women. Yeah. So there's also a quote which I'd like to read. Um, it's about what women want, what men want in women. Man wants a woman with some spunk. I don't know the word, but I guess I have the broad idea of the meaning. Some hidden fire. A woman he can't push around. So real men want women who can offer resistance, because it's a challenge. Some men even admire little spitfires, women who are adorably independent and saucy, whom they can't put down with even the most degrading remark. You can, in a flash, turn a crisis into a humorous situation so that the man may have the sudden impulse to laugh. So that's why love is so source of so much trouble and conflict, because man wants to feel resistance, and Nietzsche understood that there is satisfaction in overcoming resistance. So man wants a woman who resists, because it forces him to surpass himself, to become more charismatic, more intelligent, more charming, and yeah. So that's what I could say. She says that women love the man they serve. That's not a very popular idea, but woman loves and needs to serve man. And that's very funny, because the book presents the ideal woman from the point of view of man. So it is a woman who writes what she believes men wish and want in women. So that's an active process of becoming passive, of presenting to the readers the mirror image of what men wants. And that's a very dialectical movement, and that's very profound. So that's what I had to say about the beginning of this book, Fascinating Womanhood by Ellen Andlin. And yeah.